Hey kids, this video is coming to you in 3 parts. Part 1, I just got back from a missions trip with my church, which is probably why I look kind of tired and sloppy. So I really want to share about that trip and the things that happened and the work God's been doing in my heart, not just on this trip, but this past month. And that's not going to be today. Part 2, you really need to put your suggestions for questions in the YouTube comment moderator thingy. Don't ask me how it works because I'm not really sure, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's on our YouTube page somewhere. Part 3, my actual question. How do we know God loves us? This morning I was singing that song, the John McMillian song in church. Like all the churches are playing these days, all the cool ones. And we were on the 7th repetition of He loves us, how He loves us so, and I just start sobbing because I'm thinking about the week we've had in Boston and how He showed up and He kept us free from discouragement and He helped us through what was a really hard trip for most of us. And I'm just thinking, it's so true how He loves us. But how do we know? I heard this interview with 10th Avenue North on K-Love. They do artist spotlights sometimes, and they were talking about what inspired By Your Side. And they were talking about how a lot of Christians ask, God, I thought you loved me. Show me how you love me. And they complain to God that they don't feel loved by Him. But the lead singer was saying what we don't understand is that the cross is the ultimate symbol of His love, that we shouldn't need anything more because this is where love was poured out. This is what I've tried to cling to, even when I felt dry and separate and apart from God, when I have known intellectually that He loves me, but I have not understood in my heart that He loves me or what that looks like. This is what I have clung to, is that the cross is His love for us. But this week I saw Him go so much more beyond that I wrote a blog post once about how when we don't feel loved by God, it's because we're not looking for Him. And the thing about a missions trip is that we're all like ultra spiritual and we're looking for God absolutely everywhere because we've come to do the Lord's work. And so every night when we would have our God sightings or we would do devos, we read through the chapter of Jonah, and absolutely everywhere you saw God's love. All through Jonah, you see God's love. And this entire week, whether it was encouraging me when I was ready to lie down on the sidewalk and just stop. It was encouraging our team when a couple of the girls wanted to get on the train and head back home. It was giving us opportunities to talk to people, to have really good conversations with people who were hurting, to give them and show them a way out. He was everywhere. We asked Him to show up and He was there. Everything we prayed for in our prayer meeting before we left that Sunday was answered. And God moved. He moved in the hearts of the kids who came. He moved in the other team. He moved in the city of Lynn, Massachusetts. And I cried my eyes out singing this song, How He Loves Us, because I was overwhelmed with how God had shown up. He didn't have to demonstrate to us that He loved us in that way. He had already given us the cross. What more encouragement do we need to persevere? And yet on top of that, He poured out lavishly His love on us. How do we know God loves us? All we have to do is open our eyes, and it is absolutely everywhere. Everywhere. That's all I got.